Jake Paul has just spilled the beans about his upcoming fight with Mike Tyson in a series of manic posts all over social media. And let's just say that the YouTuber turned boxer is scared out of his mind. Let's be real. Iron Mike has been looking like a total beast hitting those pads in training, and if I were Jake, I'd be trembling in my boots too. Jake's gone from I'm the best to holy crap, what have I done? The problem child's been all over the place, man. One minute he's flexing, the next he's sounding like he just saw a ghost. I mean, who can blame him? Jake's all like, I'm seriously nervous just thinking about stepping into the ring with Iron Mike. And the internet is having a field day with Jake's recent meltdown. Let's break it down.
Yo, when you see Mike Tyson hitting them pads, you get a little nervous. Yeah.
Bro's running at lightning speed today.
He definitely is looking like a f***ing animal. I will say people are underestimating me though, because when I go to his comments, they're just saying like if Mike loses, then fighting is rigged, because they see how good he looks on the mitts. I can see it watching from the sides when you have fought everyone else where they all go, holy, this YouTuber hits much harder than I thought he did. And you can see it change in their eyes. I'm not sure Mike will have that moment. Contrary to your belief, I think Mike is not underestimating you.
So Jake had been going on about how terrified he was of Mike Tyson ever since this blockbuster matchup was announced. But his recent outburst on social media has taken things to a whole new level. This man isn't only scared, he's crapping his pants at the thought of facing the baddest man on the planet. Remember when he was all, I'm gonna knock out Tyson? Yeah, that was before he saw Iron Mike's recent training videos. It's like dude just realized he's about to step into the ring with a real-life Terminator. We've all seen the cocky Jake, but this new, terrified Jake is a whole different level of drama. We're talking full-on meltdown mode on social media. It's like he's trying to bargain his way out of this fight with every tweet. And let's not forget, the fight's right around the corner, November 15th at the AT&T Arena. The hype is through the roof with fans losing their minds and even Netflix getting in on the action with a docuseries. I guess pre-fight jitters are finally setting in for the problem child. It's hard to ignore the growing panic in Jake's eyes. This is no longer about bragging rights or social media clout. It's about survival. Now, the fight is coming up, but I'm not holding my breath on it because Jake's praying for an escape plan. Jake Paul has completely lost it. His Twitter is a non-stop roller coaster of fear, accusations, and straight-up desperation. Tyson's on steroids, he's screaming into the void. He's juiced up to the gills. This isn't fair. I mean, come on, Jake, we all know you're scared. But accusing a legend like Tyson of taking performance-enhancing drugs is a whole new level of low. It's like he's trying to create drama to distract from his own fear. And the tweets? Tyson's a freak of nature, he tweeted. Hormone replacement therapy? More like cheating therapy. Another gem. I'm fighting a monster, not a man. Dude, you signed up for this. Yeah, the boxing community remembers when Jake was breathing down Tyson's neck, begging to fight Mike. Jake, you're facing one of the greatest boxers of all time, so either step up or step aside. Let's rewind a bit. Just a few weeks ago, Paul was on top of the world. He was talking mad smack about Mike Tyson, saying he was gonna knock him out cold. The guy was absolutely brimming with confidence. It was like he had already won the fight in his mind. I mean, the tweets were something else. I'm gonna make him eat my punches for breakfast. He was calling everyone and their grandmas out, from boxing experts to casual fans, accusing them of underestimating his skills.
This question is for Jake. Obviously, Mike is one of the biggest hitters that the heavyweight division has ever seen. I just want to know, when you're thinking about his power, he looks very ferocious on Instagram, especially still. Do you feel like you'll be able to take Mike Tyson's power at this stage?
I know I will be able to. I'm a natural born heavyweight. This is what I was born to do, is to move up into this weight class, and I'm gonna show Mike who has the more power, because he's underestimating me. I think everyone else is underestimating me, and I believe that I hit harder. I know it's gonna be tough. I know I'm gonna have to fight through adversity. I know I might even go to the canvas. I'm scared, don't get me wrong, but it's not about the fear stopping me. It's about going into it even though I am scared, and that's what true bravery is.
Mike, can he take the power, Mike?
Excuse me?
Can Jake take your power?
We're gonna see, huh?
The problem child was going on and on about how he's a natural heavyweight, built for this. He was painting this picture of himself as the savior of boxing, the guy who was going to bring the sport back to glory by defeating the legendary Mike Tyson. Except instead of a struggling underdog, we had this cocky kid with a massive platform. But then, bam, something changed. The confident Jake Paul vanished, replaced by this quivering, scared little guy. It's like someone flipped a switch. So, what happened? Did reality hit him like a ton of bricks? Did he realize he was in over his head? Or maybe, just maybe, there's something else going on. Well, turns out this sudden change has everything to do with Paul's latest showdown in the ring. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you know Jake just stepped into the ring with bare-knuckle brawler Mike Perry. Yeah, these two finally settled their score in the ring after years of going back and forth on social media. So the athlete stepped into the ring on July 20th in Tampa, Florida, and our guy Jake walked out with a 6th-round KO win. Not only did he pick up a knockout victory, but he made Perry kiss the floor thrice before finally dropping him. Let's be honest, we all expected better from the Platinum Princess. Yeah, we knew this guy was no Mike Tyson, but he wasn't a slouch either. But get this, the bare-knuckle beast was outmatched in the ring, and he was way smaller than Paul, too. Instead of singing praise for Jake, the boxing world called him out for yet another orchestrated charade. I'm sure you know this thing about Paul and how he only ever fights washed-up NBA stars or retired MMA fighters. We're talking Ben Askren, Nate Robinson, Anderson Silva, Tyron Woodley. Get this, Jake has a knack for picking opponents. He's fought a bunch of guys who are either way past their prime or have no real boxing experience. Knockouts against these guys? Yeah, not exactly rocket science. The boxing community doesn't give the YouTuber-turned-boxer pats on the back for these unfair wins. And as for Jake, after every win, he crowns himself the king of the sport. But let's be honest, beating up a washed-up athlete with no boxing background doesn't make you a legend. The only real boxer he's faced so far is Tommy Fury, and we all saw how that ended. A loss, a pretty embarrassing loss, if we're being honest. Fury handed Jake the first loss of his career on a silver platter, and the fight world's not ready to forget this one anytime soon. So when the Tyson fight was announced, Jake probably saw it as another easy win. He probably thought he could manipulate the fight, pick his spots, and knock out a past his prime Tyson. But then Tyson got sick. Iron Mike suffered a health hiccup when he had an ulcer flare-up on a cross-country flight from Miami to Los Angeles. It's the reason why his original bout with Paul was postponed. The former Disney star had to step into the ring with Mike Perry instead. Now, it was a major setback for Jake, but he probably saw it as a golden opportunity to get even stronger, to gain a massive advantage. Jake thought Mike wasn't going to recover from his ulcers, and what's hard about knocking out a sick 58-year-old in the ring? Well, I guess Jake counted out Mike too soon. That we're talking about a boxing legend here. And not just any legend, it's the baddest man on the planet. Tyson bounced back like a freaking phoenix.
Day 2, we're getting ready for you. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now, instead of an easy payday, Jake's facing a real fight, a scary real fight, and it looks like the bravado is starting to fade. Let's turn our heads to Mike Tyson for a second. The guy is 58 years old. 58! And he's still a beast. His power is legendary, and it looks like it hasn't faded one bit. It's like Father Time took one look at Tyson and said, "Nah, I'll come back later." His technique is still razor sharp. The footwork, the head movement, the combinations, it's all there. Those ulcers? They might have slowed him down for a bit, but they didn't take away his killer instinct. He's coming as strong as ever to take Paul down.
I already gave him his warning. Fight like your life depends on it, because it does.
Now let's talk about this whole hormone replacement therapy thing Jake's going on about. HRT is used to balance hormone levels, especially as men get older. It's not some secret performance-enhancing drug. It's legal, medically approved, and used by millions of people. It's about optimizing your health, not cheating the system. Mike Tyson is a global icon. He's the face of boxing. Do you really think he would risk his legacy by taking something illegal? As Tyson himself said, "The only thing that's stronger than me is my integrity." The internet is having a field day with Jake Paul right now. It's like the entire world is watching a car crash in slow motion. Twitter is on fire with memes, jokes, and outright mockery. Jake Paul is scared, is trending worldwide, and for good reason. Fans are calling him a clown for agreeing to this fight in the first place and now trying to back out. Tweets like, "Jake Paul is the biggest crybaby in boxing history," and "Tyson is going to knock him out cold just to shut him up" are everywhere. Even the boxing pros and pundits are getting in on the action. Joe Rogan, the UFC commentator and podcast king, tweeted, "Jake, you're embarrassing yourself. Just step into the ring and fight." Eddie Hearn, the boxing promoter, added, "This is what happens when you build your career on hype and not skill." Oscar De La Hoya, the boxing legend, chimed in, "Tyson is a different animal. Jake better be ready." And even Michael Bisping, the former UFC champion, said, "Jake, you're a YouTuber, not a fighter." It's like the entire boxing world is united against Jake Paul. Look, Jake Paul is backed into a corner. He can't back out of this fight now. He's trying to use Tyson's health as a shield, but it's not going to work. Tyson has a $300 million lawsuit ready to drop if Jake pulls the plug. And let's not forget that contract he signed. Breach of contract can be a career killer, especially when you're talking about this kind of money. So Jake's options are simple: fight or face financial ruin. It's time for Jake to put up or shut up. Nobody's expecting him to win. Hell, most people expect him to get knocked out. But this is a chance for him to prove himself, to show the world he's more than just a YouTuber turned boxer. He's been talking about becoming a world champion for years. Well, here's his chance to step up and fight a legend. If he can survive the fight, and maybe even put on a decent show, it could be a huge turning point for his career. It could be the moment he finally sheds that influencer boxer label and starts being seen as a real contender. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see how this one plays out. So there you go, Fight World. That's all I have for you today. What are your thoughts on Jake Paul's MANIC episode on social media? Make sure to fill the comment section with your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more boxing news. See you in the next video.